प्रेमचंद सर। विद्या ददाति विनय विनयाद याति पात्रताम पात्रत्वात् धर्माप्नोति धनात् धर्म तथा सुखम। आज हम लोग 10th स्टैंडर्ड पार्ट 2 से फर्स्ट लेसन हेरेडिटी एंड इवोल्यूशन के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे। मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, प्लीज लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब दिस चैनल फॉर मोर वीडियोज। Heredity and evolution. Point to be studied. First point, heredity and hereditary changes. Second point, evolution. Third point, Darwin's theory of natural selection. Fourth point, speciation. Fifth point, transcription, translation and translocation. Next point, evidence of evolution, Lamarckism, human evolution. Now, heredity and hereditary change. Heredity is the transfer of biological characters from one generation to another via genes. The nature of genetic materials when it was proved that genes are carried via chromosomes. Means in the heredity, biological characters transferred from one generation to the another generation through the genes. The science of heredity is useful for diagnosis, treatment and prevention of hereditary disorders, production of hybrid variants of animals and plants, and in industrial process in which microbes are used. Next point, transcription, translation and translocation. First of all, we know about central dogma. The gene present in the form of DNA participate in the functioning of cell. Means genes always present in the form of DNA which participate in the functioning or supporting in the functioning of cell and thereby control the structure and function of the body. Information about protein synthesis is stored in DNA and synthesis of appropriate proteins as per requirements is necessary for body. Means for our body, DNA and synthesis of proteins as per requirement is necessary. These proteins are synthesized by DNA through the RNA. This is called as central dogma. In simple words, DNA and synthesis proteins which necessary for our body, all that protein synthesized by DNA through the RNA. This is called as central dogma. Next point, transcription. The sequence of nucleotide in mRNA being produced is always complementary to the DNA strand used for synthesis. Besides, there is uracil in RNA. Instead of thymines of DNA, this process of RNA synthesis is called as transcription. Means nucleotide in RNA being proceed is always complementary to the DNA and strand used for synthesis. There is uracil in RNA instead of thymines of DNA. All these processes are called transcription. See here, this is the transcription process. In this process, RNA polymerase becomes RNA nucleotides. Means transcription is the process between RNA polymerase and RNA nucleotides reaction. Next, triple codon. The mRNA forming in nucleus form in cytoplasm. It's bring in the coded message from DNA. Means in triple codons, mRNA form in nucleus which forms in cytoplasm. It's bring in the coded message from DNA. The message contain the coded for amino acids. The coded for each amino acids consists of 3 nucleotides. Means amino acid consists of 3 nucleotides. It is called as triple codons. Next point, translation. Each mRNA is made up of thousands of triple codons. As per the message on RNA, amino acids are supplied by the tRNA. For this purpose, tRNA has anticodons having complementary sequence to the codon on mRNA. This is called as translocation. First we know mRNA is made up of thousands of triple codons. As per message on mRNA, amino acid supplied by tRNA. For the purpose of tRNA has anticodons having complementary sequence. Next point, translocation. The amino acid brought in by tRNA are bonded together by peptides bonds with the help of RNA. During this process, the ribosomes keeps on moving from one end of mRNA to other ends. By the distance of 1 triple codons, this is called as translocation. Translocation means amino acid brought in by tRNA are bonded together by peptide bonds with the help of RNA. During this process, the ribosome keeps on moving from one end of mRNA to the other ends. By the distance of 1 triple codons, this is called as translocation. Next point, this is a nucleus, this is a mRNA, this is your amino acid, this is your ribosomes, and this is your mRNA, and this is your the codon. Next, mutation. Any nucleotides of the genes changes its position, that cause a minor change, which is nothing but the mutation. Mutation means what? Nucleotides of genes change its position. Means whatever genes change its position cause minor changes. Sometimes mutation may be minor, but some may be considerable. Example, mutation may cause the genetic disorder like sickle cell, anemia, etc. Different kinds of disease which caused by the mutation if the mutation are large. Next point, evolution. Evolution is the gradual change occurring in living organisms over a long duration. We all know our ancestor will theirs, and from our ancestor we changes in our thoughts, in our body, in our physical and many different ways. This is a very slow growing process through which development of organism is achieved. All the stage in changes occur in various components ranging from stars and planets in the space to the biosphere present on the earth should be included in the study of evolution. Formation of new species due to change in specific characters of several generations of living organisms as a response to natural selection is called as a evolution. Means whenever formation of new species due to change in specific characters of several generations of living organisms. Notes: crores of species of plants and animals with huge diversity regarding shapes and complexity are present on the earth. We all know crores of species of plants and animals with huge diversity regarding shapes and complexity are present on the earth. Out of that, we are only one, that is a human. Animal diversity ranges from the unicellulars. It's considered as unicellular, that is a amoeba, and paramecium to man and giant whales. Giant whales is the largest and large-weighted animals on the earth. Whales present in the or available in the sea and ocean, not in rivers and short lakes, etc. Theory of evolution. Progressive development of plants and animals from the ancestor having different structure and functional organization is called evolution. Evolution means what? Whatever changes from ancestor to present times of your body, that changes is called evolution. Now, evidence of evolution, just like morphological evidence, anatomical evidence, vestigial organs, paleontological evidence, connecting link, embryological evidence. First of all, morphological evidence. See, various similarities like structure of mouth, position of eye, structure of nostril and ears, pinnae and thickly distributed hair on body are seen in animals, whereas similarity in characteristics like leaf shape, leaf venerations, leaf petioles, etc. occurs in case of plants. This indicates that there are some similarities in those grown, and hence it proves that their origin must be same and must have common ancestors. See, the eye of these animals is here, and similar points, same point and same points also. Only little bit different hairs. Here is also 2 ears and this one also 2 ears, and this one also 2 ears. Same mouth shapes. So according to this image, we can say the ancestor of all three or all these animals will be same. We can say in plants, see the shape of fruits mostly are same, and leaves also mostly same. So after many years there are changes. So if we see or consider the ancestor of all these plants, it's maybe same. Next point, anatomical evidence. If you carefully observe the pictures, there does not seem any superficial similarity between human hands, forelegs of ox, flipper of whale, and patagoins of bats. Similarity use of each of those structure is different in respective animals. However, there is similarity in structure of bones and joints in organ of each of those animals. This similarity indicates that those animals may have common ancestor. Now listen, see this bones and this one and this ones. All three are mostly same, and this one also structure, see this, and also this one parts. Means there are many points and joints also, you can say all these points are closely same or equal. So as per these structures, we can consider as the ancestor of human hand, ox, bats, and whales. It may be same. Next point, vestigial organ. Degenerated or underdeveloped or useless organ of organism are called as vestigial organs. Means whatever degenerated or underdeveloped useless organs of organisms are called vestigial organs. Sudden development of new tissue or organ for living in changes environment is more. Sometimes our internal body changes. It may be increase or it may be decrease. That changes cause or different kinds of disease. It takes thousands of years for a structure to disappear. Various vestigial organs like tailbones, wisdom teeth, and body hairs are present in body of human beings. Say this is S.R.P which changes. So this is harmful for our body. This is ear parts, teeth, wisdom teeth, and this is tailbone. Next, paleontological evidence. That is a fossils. Large number of organisms gets buried due to disaster, like floods, earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. Remnants and impression of such organisms remain preserved underground. These are called as fossils. Fossil means what? Whatever organisms get buried into the earth due to disaster like flood, earthquake, volcano that convert into preserved or organisms or gases which known as fossils. Carbon consumption of animals and plants stop after death, and since then only the decaying process of C14s occurs continuously. In place of dead bodies of plants and animals, instead of remaining constant, the ratio between C14 and C12 changes continuously. As C12 is non-radioactive, the time passed since the death of plants or animals can be calculated by measuring the radioactivity of C14 and the ratio of C14 to C12 present in their body. This is carbon dating. Means the ratio between C14 to C12 is known as carbon dating. It is used in paleontology and anthropology for determining the age of human fossils. Yes, so always remember how we know the age of human fossils which buried into the earth due to disasters. It can be observed with the ratio of C14 to C12. Once the age of fossil being determined by such techniques, it becomes easy to deduce the information about other rest whale or organisms. It seems that vertebrates have been slowly originated from invertebrates. See, this is a avian mammals, reptiles, amphibians, and both are invertebrates. It's occur in Cenozoic era, and this one is Mesozoic era, this one is Paleozoic era. Next point, connecting plant and animals show some morphological characters by which they can be related to two different groups. Hence, they are called as connecting links. Say, plant and animals show some morphological characters by which they can be related to two different groups. That groups are known as connecting links. Example in Peripatus, threaters like segmented body, thin cuticles, and parapodia-like organ are present. Similarly, these animals show tracheal respiration and open circulatory system similar to arthropods. This indicates that Peripatus is connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda. See, the structure of all three, which we say backbone, all three living organisms of backbone are same. Now, embryological evidence. Comparative study of embryonic developmental stage of various vertebrates given in the picture show that all embryos show extreme similarities during initial stage, and those similarities decrease gradually. Similarities in initial stage indicate the common origin of all these animals. Say, in the first step or stage of fish, Jalmandar, tortoise, chicken, pig, cow, rabbits, man, around maybe are similar in first stage, and all these organisms something change with in second stage, and in third stage this may also some changes in the last stage. that is offspring of fish, jalamdar, tortoise, chicken, pigs or rabbits. So we can say, as per first stage, the ancestor of all these living organisms may be same. Next point, Darwin's theory of natural selection. Natural selection also play important role because natural select only those organisms which are fit to live, and the rest perish, sustain and select organisms then perform reproduction and thereby give rise to the new species with their own specific characters. Darwin's theory of natural selection was widely accepted for long duration. Its objection: natural selection is not the only factor responsible for evolution. Darwin did not mention any explanation about useful and useless modification. There is no explanation about slow changes and abrupt change. Irrespective of all these objections, Darwin's work on evolution has been a milestone. Next, theory of inheritance by Lamarck Friedman. The neck of giraffe has become too long due to browsing on leaves on tall plants by extending their neck for several generations. Say the neck of giraffe become too long due to browsing on leaves. Similarly, shoulder of the ironsmith have become very strong due to frequent hammering movements. Wings of birds like ostrich emu have become weak due to noise. Legs of the birds like swan and ducks have become useful for swimming due to living in waters, and snakes have lost their legs by modification in their body for burrowing habits. All these examples are types of acquired characters and are transferred from one to another generation. This is called theory of inheritance. In this paragraph means the parts which are useful, that are strong, and which are not useful, that are not strong. Next point, speciation. Formation of new species of plants and animals is the effect of evolution. A species is the group of organisms that can produce fertile individual through natural reproduction. Each species grows in a specific geographical condition. Their food habits, reproductive ability, and period are different. Geographical and reproductive isolation also lead to speciation. Next point, human evolution. Say, before 7 crore years, human like this one, and before 4 crore years, ago human like this one. Before 2.5 crore years ago, human like this one. Before 1 crore years ago, human like this one. And this is gradually changes of man from 7 crore years ago to 15,000 years ago. Around 1.5 lakhs or 15 lakhs year ago, man will be develop our body for uses and thinking power and lessons and clear our body, and afterwards humans changes, and today human goes into the space also, on other planets also. So this is a gradual changes of women. So most of people will not accept this is our ancestor. So it can be prove our initial positions. This is the development of human brain. See, first one like this, next like this, and this. This is the gradual changes of human brains and also thinking power of people. Neanderthal man. Neanderthal man can be considered as the first example of wise man. You know, this is the first wise man. The Cro-Magnons man evolved about 50,000 years ago, and afterwards, this evolution had been faster than the others. Means after this person, human plan changes, and the thinking powers also becomes rapid. Thanks. Thanks for watching this video.